In any language, redundancy is using one or more words that don't add an extra or a new meaning to what you're saying. So saying a true fact is the same as saying a fact. Large in size is the same as saying large. Past history is the same as history, and so on. So in these examples, all these words are redundant, which means that they don't add any extra meaning or information, and so they should just be removed. Alright, now that we understand what redundancy is, when we look at Bismillah, Bismillah الرحمن الرحيم, we notice that the words الرحمن الرحيم are very closely related, since both come from the same root, Rahim, which means to have mercy. So, الرحمن الرحيم both look like they convey the same meaning of being merciful. But isn't that redundancy? Would only using Ar-Rahman be enough? Or only Ar-Rahim? Well, to answer these questions, we're going to need to analyze these two words to understand their proper connotations that is normally understood in Arabic but is mostly lost in translation. First of all, both Ar-Rahman and Ar-Rahim are exaggerated forms, or what we call in Arabic صيغة المبالغة. An exaggerated form is essentially an adjective that conveys great quantity or intensity more than the regular adjective. There are many forms for exaggerated adjectives in Arabic. These forms act like molds that shape a certain word into being an exaggerated form. So, alim means a scholar, but applying the exaggerated form fa'ala on it turns it into allama, intensifying its meaning to indicate a scholar of vast knowledge. Similarly, sadiq means honest or truthful, and from fi'il we get siddiq, which intensifies the meaning of honesty and truthfulness. Now, the thing about these forms is that they also add a bit of meaning to the word as to show the degree or manner of intensity to the adjective. One of these effects is observed in the form fa'lan, which emphasizes how immense or great in capacity the adjective is, which is then more emphasized than its continuity or extension. So, when you're hungry, you are جائع. But when you're famished and hunger has filled your stomach, you would be جوعان, which highlights how incredibly hungry you are, rather than emphasizing for how long. That is the effect of this exaggerated form. Now, the word Rahman is derived from the exaggerated form fa'lan, which means that it doesn't only refer to being merciful, but refers to the vastness and immenseness of Allah's mercy, but not necessarily emphasize or convey continuity or for how long. It only emphasizes its vastness and inclusion of every creation of Allah. As it was narrated by Imam al-Bukhari, all creations are able to be merciful to one another in this life from one of 100 parts of Allah's mercy. That is why it is prohibited to use the adjective Rahman to describe anyone but Allah, because the greatness of Allah's mercy cannot be matched. Now, as for the word Rahim, it is derived from the exaggerated form fa'il, which conveys the continuity and the everlasting nature of an adjective. So it doesn't necessarily refer to intensity or the vastness of the adjective. So the words Kareem or Hakim both follow fa'il form, and so they mean generous and wise. In order for these meanings to apply, they require continuity. Being or describing someone as generous doesn't happen from seeing one action, but rather from a continuous attitude. And the same goes for Hakim, or wise. They convey and require continuity. Having said that, Rahim also refers to the continuity and everlastingness of Allah's mercy, which is then not bound by time or any limit. That is why the word Rahim could be used to describe people, which is being merciful for the extent of their lifetime, since it doesn't give the same vastness or intensity as the meaning of Rahman, but rather extension. Also, we only see the word Rahim as an attribute that is specially for believers and no one else, since the everlasting nature of Allah's mercy makes it extend to this life and the afterlife, and in the Day of Judgment, Allah's mercy is only for those who believe in Allah and follow His command. So when Allah addresses believers in the Quran, He says, وَكَانَ بِالْمُؤْمِنِينَ رَحِيمًا, referring to His perpetual mercifulness in this life and in the afterlife. So now, back to the main question. Is الرحمن الرحيم redundant? And the answer is definitely not, because both words describe a certain aspect of Allah's mercy. Ar-Rahman emphasizes how great and vast Allah's mercy is, and Ar-Rahim emphasizes its perpetual nature. That's why Al-Basmala is best translated in English into "In the name of Allah, the entirely merciful, the especially merciful." Thanks for watching. If you want to start reading and understanding the Quran in Arabic, then you should start your journey right here. And don't forget to check out my latest book, which goes perfectly with this free course. I'll leave the links for all of them in the description, so check them out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.